I guess he could have made her out of mud, but wouldn't posability be a problem? Here's a look at McFarlane Toys, DC Direct, Golden Age, Wonder Woman. The origin of Wonder Woman continues from All-Star Comics number 8. The Amazon princess arrives in man's world with a wounded Steve Trevor. This story also explains the origin of Wonder Woman's secret identity of Diana Prince and features the first appearance of Wonder Woman's invisible jet. Now removing Diana from invisible plastic prison, and yay, back to back, I haven't cut myself either. Seriously, one of the hardest packages to open is the DC Direct stuff that we're getting now. There's no forgiving way of cutting the plastic carefully. Even when you think you've cut it around sort of a border so you can easily kind of open up the frame, like pull the plastic tray out that contains the figure. This whole time you're thinking to yourself, please don't slice my finger, please don't slice my finger, please don't slice my finger. And luckily though, all the piggies while they went to the market, none of them got damaged. Even though I know really it was only one piggy that went to the market. Anyways though, moving along, let's take the tape measure now and see how tall the Golden Age Wonder Woman stands. Really is the first comic Wonder Woman that I have in my collection. Wait, you didn't get the other Wonder Woman? No, I did not. It's going still for stupid money online, and this guy's not willing to pay stupid money online. We'll kind of just ignore the other things that I've spent frivolous money on. But anyways, let's take the tape measure. Golden Age Wonder Woman's going to be standing at about 7¼ inches in height. She is. You can see for yourself. That's going to work out to be a figure that's 19 centimeters tall. Okay, maybe that's not true. I have picked up a couple of Wonder Womans, but the classic look to the character, I think the closest thing that we have right now, without spending about $150 for her, would be the one that we're getting now from the Golden Age release. Hey, I have examples though, not necessarily of a Wonder Woman. I have one Wonder Woman I can bring in as an example, but just to though compare her with a regular DC multiverse female figure. Just recently, in fact, actually, we've looked at Hawkgirl, so I thought that'd be a good example. I thought that'd be a pretty good example to bring in. Here's also what she looks with former Wonder Woman's actress Gal Gadot, because we're not going to be getting any more movies with her. I'm okay with that, honestly. I did also kind of, as we've done these recent reviews, I've kind of wanted to go back to some of my older totes and find some of my favorite figures. I don't know why I need to be putting that in quotations. I happen to find such figure. This is my DC Direct Wonder Woman. Surprised really that I'd never found a chance to put her back on the shelf. She's been really on a shelf for years, and then there was sort of that period of time I was kind of like moving stuff around. I decided to put her back in the plastic totes. So this is a chance for her at least to breathe. And it also gives me a chance as well to bring her in. Now, clearly, she's a much smaller size of figure when you compare her to what we're getting now from Todd and his team. But still one of my favorite Wonder Woman. She will never be replaced. She may be going back in a tote, but she'll never be replaced with anything new. And while we are seeing something new, let's look at something old. To come included, though, with Wonder Woman, you get yourself Wonder Woman issue number 1. It's a summer issue, by the way. This isn't the original by far. I mean, one dead giveaway is, first of all, it's in pretty good condition. And also, too, if you look at the inside of it, no, maybe not right there. At the back, though, there's some advertisements for Absolute Wonder Woman that, hey, would not have existed back then when this comic was first printed, nor would there have been advertisements for McFarlane Toys digital statues or Batman still doing the Bat-2C. Ouch! Oh. Just recently, in fact, we've actually had a look at Superboy, also contained in a plastic prison. And funny though enough, I didn't actually, it came pretty close to drawing blood when we opened up Superboy. But he was also having an advertised Adam West Batman inside his comic. The rest, though, of the issue is the original issue of Wonder Woman. So it sort of tells the tale of Diana Prince. It also shows her in Arena of Sports. The Arena of Sport, wait, didn't Cobra helm all that? No, that was a different Arena of Sport. It also shows as well how she was made. I said mud at the beginning, and she was technically kind of made out of clay. A nice issue, though. I mean, if you... Obviously, it's just too expensive to go back and try to track down the original Wonder Woman. If you have the kind of money to blow, I mean, feel free to spend the money the way you want to spend it. But it's a good, easier, more budget-friendly way of getting Wonder Woman number 1. What's kind of cool, too, is that you also get yourself a trading card. Now, the trading card does also have a Golden Age Wonder Woman featured on the front. The style, I'm sure, for hairstyle, probably not something that would be trending nowadays. Although if the Kardashians, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, started to get this look down, everybody would want to have the Kardashian look. And meanwhile, it wouldn't be Kim Kardashian at all. It would be Wonder Woman we could thank for this. Well, that's not even true. There's been lots of ladies in the past that have had hairstyles like this. Toni Storm. Toni Storm. I'm just kind of thinking of timeless Toni Storm from AEW. She's sort of rocking the retro right now. Does anybody even watch AEW? I certainly hope that you do. If you do, let me know down below in the comments section. See, I love AEW. On the back, though, of the card, can I also just say, too, like the state of this card, it was sandwiched inside, well, you probably saw at the beginning of this review, it was sandwiched inside sort of an outlined bit of plastic molding. Unfortunately, though, while taking the card out, it caught some of that in the corner of my card. I even isn't so much the corner, it's kind of meeting more in the middle. This one area right now, oh, it's just a bird edge. If that was a knife, that would be one thing. You kind of really want to have a bird edge. That helps for the cutting. But you certainly don't want that for a card. You want a card to be nice, flat, and pristine. My card is not flat, and it's not pristine. It's kind of flat. Certainly not pristine, though. So let's move the card out of the way, though. We've spent so much time just talking about dribble. Some dribble will be spent less talking about the display stand, because I had already talked about this before when we looked at Superboy. Wait a minute. You had a look at Superboy? Come on, man. Where are you? Kind of roping you back in. Stay on track. We did actually have a look at Superboy, and he did in fact come included with the exact same display stand. Now, just to show you though, the original DC logo stands. This is something I did talk about, that the DC logo generally is down in the middle here, and then the cornered peg is in fact that. It's in the corner. Unfortunately though, by making the DC logo parallel to the peg, it means that when you put your figures on them, they look like they're leaning off the edge. I still would have preferred this logo. I would have, though, liked it if they could have put it right here. Not large and not to the side. It's a small little quibble. Does really anybody care? I care. Let's put that off to the side. Figure does also, yes, come include with a couple of swappable hands. So if you're looking at her right now, she has a close fist on one side and a gripping on the other. Wait a minute. Doesn't she have a lasso of truth? No, she does not. She does not, which is... Again, very surprising, the fact that a Wonder Woman would be released, now a new Wonder Woman, and not even have the lasso of truth. I'm sure I could probably pull one from a Gal Gadot Wonder Woman. She's looking for work anyways. I'm sure she's not going to miss any one of her lassos. Could probably just use one of those. But really, in the argument, though, to be made is that this figure should have really had one coming out of her plastic in the first place. What we get, though, instead is a couple of swappable hands. Okay, so... I now have to pull myself back. The figure already comes with a closed fist and a gripping hand, even though she doesn't have an accessory to hold. If you want to have that same look on the other mirror flip, then she also has a gripping hand for that side, and she has a closed fist for that side. Does that make sense? I hope so. She does also come included with a couple of gestured hands. You may already be spotting the fact that this figure does have pretty pale plastic. It's also it's not just pale, it sort of has almost, and this might just be the way that I'm observing this, it kind of does not look like, she has a little bit of a purplish tint to the plastic. Am I the only one who really sees that? Swapping out the hands, by the way, you got to be really careful. She does have her little bracers on there, but these are actually separate pieces. Yeah, in the comics too, they were also supposed to be black. If to go back and look at the source material, see right there, she's got black bracers or bracelets. So it's not wrong in that way, but it would be wrong, though, to assume that these are glued to the figure's forearms. So when you are moving, like her hands off, for example, just want to make sure that these aren't on the edge, because if they do, you'll have them fall off, and you'll never find a bit of plastic that's small on the floor. So what we're going to do is we're just going to remove the hands from the pegs, take the hands that we want to use. I'm just going to use the gestured hand for right now. I don't feel like I need to rinse and repeat and do it on the other side. Is that a weird looking hand? Probably in the end I'll just end up having her with closed fists. But it's just, though, to show you can also really take the hand too, because she does also have a double hinge, and have her sort of resting against her waist. Kind of like that. And I guess you could have the other side bent. That's a woman of power. Okay, so those are the accessories. Missed, unfortunately, the opportunity that they didn't include a lasso. So how does Golden Age Wonder Woman stack up? She's not bad. There are a few little things let me just talk about for a second. First of all, the figure is using kind of this weird off-colored plastic. Kind of, for me, makes it look like she's a little sick. The kind of purple tint that they've given to the generally like flesh tone plastic does make her look a little more... I guess the thing is supposed to be that she looks like a Golden Age Wonder Woman. I can't, though, help but notice that she's got these marks on her cheek and on her nose. Now, to, again, go back, do we need to look at the source material again? Let's just find an image of Wonder Woman. I mean, most of the images won't really have her depicted with that little bit of purple or that little bit of gold there on her face. That would be, by the way, a pretty cool Wonder Woman, the one that she's disguised in the arena of sport. I know we're still talking about Cobra. But yeah, she does have this kind of gold kind of glimmer on her cheeks, on her nose, if I move my thumb out of the way. You know, to be honest with you, I really don't feel like it needed to be there. It was fine just the way that they painted it. I think the eyes, the mouth look good. She also does have the little red there for her earrings. I'm having a hard time thinking about earrings. And she does also have a little fleck of blue added to her hair, so it gives her that classic look. I feel, if anything, though, really the gold on her cheeks and on her nose kind of detract away from the figure's face. I think if not for that, actually, the rest of the figure looks pretty good. There are a few little things, like if I could, find fault. Not that I really would find much fault in her. She's generally looking pretty good. I feel like the eagle is a little on the small side. Again, just to look at like the card, for example, generally like the eagle takes up a lot of her bodice. It unfortunately just stops really abruptly here, but it really, I feel, should have gone further down, because it really should take, I feel, more space up on her bodice. It's a little on the small side. It's printed well, and I would imagine it's probably been printed. It's not sculpted or anything like that. The bodice is a nice natural color. The colors, at least, that Wonder Woman should really have. And of course, being that she has the red, she has the stars down below. Now, this is done using a plastic. I looked at this initially, thought to myself, could they maybe have not done something that they've done with their fabric capes? Added fabric here with a little wire frame. I guess the more that I look at it, though, skirting would be a hard thing to pull off, because first of all, you'd have to find a way to mount this or adhere this to the figure's body. Then fabric, I mean, really, what are you going to be doing with it anyways? Giving like little ripples into the fabric skirt? I think like the plastic is fine. I mean, it gives at least enough clearance so when you want to like split the figure's legs, you're not feeling like she's kind of contained or confined. The plastic skirt, I think, is fine. The paint looks generally quite good. I mean, again, you got the white there on the top of the belt. The stars are, for the most part, done well. There are a few areas that just feel like they're missing stars. There probably could be like one that could have been added there, maybe one down at the bottom. Is that really just a need to nitpick something? I don't know. I think for the most part, the stars look good. Some would probably even have said that she really needed a lot less stars. Again, like the figure looks pretty good. She's got the red boots. She's got the striping there on the front. All classic looks to Wonder Woman. I know this is the Golden Age Wonder Woman. I wonder if we're probably going to be getting a Silver Age, maybe a Modern Age Wonder Woman. We need to really offset like what those, I don't want to say like the people that had bought all of these, the hoarders that bought up the Wonder Woman and then sold them for really high. I mean, they're really, I guess, selling them for the price that the Wonder Womans are going for right now. But I really feel like they need to release another modern Wonder Woman. I honestly didn't even really like the face on that Wonder Woman anyways. Not that this would necessarily be the replacement, because she's got more of a dated look to her. But she certainly will be at least a Wonder Woman that's going to be on my shelf front and center until eventually another release of her gets released. A classic Wonder Woman. McFarlane, come on. A classic Wonder Woman. It says to me, like, I know they're listening when it comes to like the figures that they're releasing, because clearly, like, as we're kind of getting near the end of the figures license with Todd and his team, we are kind of getting those figures that now would have been the figures like right from day one I would have wanted. I think right away, I think a lot of fans are probably, and I don't want to speak for all the fans, but I think a lot of fans are really asking for another classic Wonder Woman. Come on, gotta make it happen. In the meantime, though, figures articulation, she does have a ball joint in the head. She has a lot of sculpting on the back of her hair. It doesn't seem to impede at all the head's rotation. It does impede a little bit when it comes to head looking up. It does look pretty high, though. You can also bring the head down low, and she can also rock back and forth. Now, the upper torso is actually not two pieces. Generally, when we have gotten figures in the past, top torso is then separate from the abdomen down below. In this case, though, for Wonder Woman, the bodice and the torso are all one piece. When you're rotating it, you're actually rotating one entire torso. So when you move everything, you're moving everything collectively. I guess that's not a bad thing. If they had put a cut right here, I don't think it really would have given the figure anything more than what it's doing right now. Plus, too, it probably would have caused a conflict with, like, the eagle. I mean, the eagle would have been broken up, and the moment you start to twist the figure's torso, one part of the eagle would be over here, and then, like, the tail bit would be, like, right over here. This just makes a whole lot more sense. For the arms, yeah, they rotate all the way around. She does have, just bring those arms up, the means to pull off more than just a T pose. So it actually looks like she could win the arena of sports. The figure does have a bicep swivel. Yes, she does. A double hinge on the elbow. Sure. And of course, the hands do rotate all the way around. Just again, one precautionary measure. As you are removing the hands, just make sure, again, like the bracelets aren't far down on the forearms, that they don't fall on the floor. That's a lot of F's in the row. And you'll be also probably yelling another F when you drop that bracelet on the floor. I'm not going to be repeating it. Let's bring her arm, by the way, all the way around. I want to make sure that we've got the facing the right way. There we go. For the legs do split. There's enough at least pocket space on either side of the skirt, so you can pull off about that far of a splits. Legs move forward, they move back, about that far. She does have a swivel at the top of the thigh. It's just kind of hard to see with plastic in the way. She does have a double hinge on the knee. Surprisingly, no articulation here for the boots, but she does, however, have at least an ankle pivot, an ankle rocker. The figure does also have no toe articulation. You know, if you were to sacrifice something, I feel like toe articulation could be it. If you're getting like a ninja figure, for example, where you got to get them in a squatting pose, maybe then Wonder Woman probably could have used like foot articulation or toe articulation. The fact that they've then left that off, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. Now, I am wondering too, like to go back and look at this comic again. One thing I'd like to kind of think about as an add-on to Wonder Woman is get her a horse. Now, I have a horse right now. This is the Dark Knight Returns horse. It was all done black. Yes, it did come in black. It did also come in white, though. There was a platinum edition of Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex. I didn't like the look of the figure because he had kind of more of a pastel blue. But now that I'm looking at Wonder Woman, and now that I'm also seeing the comic on the side, I might see if I can try to find myself a cheap release of the Platinum Edition Jonah Hex, because Jonah Hex did have a white horse, and I think the white horse would be a perfect way to display the Golden Age Wonder Woman here. There's a couple of things that are missing here for Wonder Woman. Primarily, she doesn't come included with a lasso of truth. She doesn't also come included with a white horse. The lasso is a cheaper thing that I can easily find because we've gotten a couple of Gal Gadot Wonder Womans. I can easily just pull the lasso. She's looking for work, by the way. The more expensive thing to try to track down, though, would be the white horse that came included with the Platinum Edition Jonah Hex. I've looked online. I mean, do I really need to have a white horse? I've got the black horse from the Dark Knight Returns that really wasn't doing anything. He was kind of out of work as well. I might just use that right now for a serviceable stand-in. I'm wondering, though, if maybe they might consider releasing another version of the white horse. They could have also packed really Wonder Woman with the horse, but then that's a hard sell. I know, like, first of all, collectors don't want to be shelling out any more money than a figure's already worth. If this Wonder Woman, for example, as just to pull a number out of the sky, $35, would it be a good assumption? $35 for a DC Direct Wonder Woman, tack on the price of what that horse would then cost you, you're looking probably closer to $100. A lot of people probably wouldn't be spending $100 to get a Wonder Woman with a white horse. Those same people probably would come to their senses and not spend $150 to $200 for the original Wonder Woman that was released, a couple of years ago. I have still not pulled the trigger to get that Wonder Woman, and I'm kind of hoping, though, that the body that we're getting here right now could then be repurposed. That's a word we don't use nearly enough here on this channel. I always say retooling, but repurposed this mold for a modern look of classic Wonder Woman. I mean, we've looked at now the Silver Age. We could even, in fact, jump right over the Golden Age years of Wonder Woman, and let's just get a classic look to the character. It certainly would help the budgets of any collector that missed the chance to get the Wonder Woman in the first place. Plus, too, it would also give you a chance to probably upsize the figure and maybe make it a little bit closer to the classic Superman that we got as well. But what do you guys, though, think of this Wonder Woman? Let me know down below in the comment section. Do you think it's a good look to the character? I know certainly it is more dated the way that she's designed, but that's not a bad thing at all. I think if anything could be said for the figures, maybe the changes that they could have done differently. I like the blue that they've added to the hair. I don't love the gold that they've added to the cheeks and the face. I know it adds a little bit of something more to the face, but I think it could have probably been fine without it. Do you guys agree with that or disagree? Do you feel like the figure could have come included with a horse, or do you just say nay to that? Come on, man. We can't be spending out more money than $35 for a figure. In fact, actually, this figure I think was a little bit more than $35 when I picked her up, and I'm certainly glad that I did. If you guys did enjoy this video, you can do it a solid and throw it a like. If you guys want to stick around for more, so I hope so. We are going to be having some more DC Multiverse reviews in the pipeline coming your way. Thoop, thoop, thoop. That's the sound of the reviews coming through you through the pipeline. So making sure you're coming back to the channel for those. As always, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.